Welcome to the Voices of the Goddess podcast. We believe that there is a goddess inside each and every one of us. When we use our voice to share that goddess, we support and uplift each other. Join us each week as we interview women to receive the message of their goddess within.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Voices of the Goddess podcast. We are super excited to have you here today, and we are a podcast that is here to empower, inspire, and uplift women and help them be the goddesses that they are meant to be, that's already there inside of them. And I'm excited to be here with my co-host. My name is Allyson Mancini, and I am originally from Michigan, but I've been in Florida for 28, almost 29 years, which is crazy. Married for 28 years. I have two adult children, 25 and 22. I also have two fur babies, two dogs, both one's a year and one is 10 weeks. I'm out of my mind. And I have a cat and I have a grand pup. So, I've got it all going on. But I am also human resources director at the Gold Digger Girl and a functional nutritionist and the co-host of this incredible podcast. So I would like to introduce my co-host.
I know we're on opposite sides today, so it's a little confusing. But hello, everyone. I am Julietta, also called the Magical PT, also here in Fort Lauderdale, but originally from Wisconsin. And I have been living in Florida since 1994. It's getting crazy how long that is. Mm-hmm. But I help people bring balance to their bodies, their minds, and the spirit, because it all works together. You can't just treat one and expect it to heal the body. You have to look at the whole picture. And I make jewelry and paint and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that goes back to I'm every woman, but not the butcher, the baker, or the candlestick maker. But
you're also an author.
Yes, I am an author. Mm-hmm. And do we want to let people know our new secret?
No, I think we should wait. But we do need to introduce our new sponsor, which I'm super excited about. Wait, let's show everybody. Oh, we have our own mugs. Oh, so exciting. Okay, so let me introduce our new sponsor because everyone's like, what is this all about? Aliciaboatengdesigns. She is a celebrity cup designer. She's been seen on the Today Show with Hoda and Jenna, Reader's Digest, Forbes, Food Network, ABC, Fox, MSN, Your California Life, Gift Shop Magazine, Sheen Magazine, and Lifestyle Magazine. Alicia is a mother of four, wife, and passionate coffee lover. Alicia is a former wedding planner and has always been an exceptional creative individual. She turned an ordinary coffee cup into an extraordinary, dazzling, and empowering vessel that speaks volumes to women of all colors all over the world. And we are so excited because she designed Voices of the Goddess, very first beautiful coffee mug. So yes, we've been designed by a celebrity cup designer, and it's awesome.
So cool. We will eventually have these available for purchase if you want your own. I have to say, my coffee tastes extraordinary today.
Out of my goddess mug. Are you kidding me? But the exciting thing too is we have to tell everyone we're going to be doing some giveaways on our social media. So you need to be paying attention because we are going to be giving away some mugs coming up. So that's exciting too.
So if you're not in our Circle of Goddesses group on Facebook, get in there, and very shortly we will be running a contest that you could actually win one of these amazing mugs. They are so seeing them in on the screen does not do them justice.
It doesn't. I'm trying to. I know
they're so 3D and sparkly and fabulous. And
yes.
But since we're talking about our mugs, Allyson,
yes.
I know you drink a lot of tea.
I do. Well, I am a coffee. Yeah. I mean, listen, I am a coffee drinker. I do love I already had my cup of coffee. In my mug right now is actually green tea and an actual brain boosting tea, because tea is like so beneficial. So we were going to just talk a little bit about some of the great teas that are out there. First
What
of
kind
all,
of tea boosts your brain? Because I think I need that.
it's got lion's mane in it. It's got reishi. It's got like all the, all the
All
good,
those
oh,
mushrooms.
so, and it's got ginkgo in it. It's I'll share it with you. It's so awesome. I know, Marlu, aren't they pretty?
Hi,
She just
Marlu.
said they're so pretty. I can't help it. I just have to keep showing it. It's so pretty. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about tea and the importance of, because as a functional nutritionist, that is one thing I always encourage my clients. Like, it's a really simple way to get some really good herbs into your system that are good for you. Green tea, above and beyond, you should drink green tea every day. It's so good for you. The antioxidants in it, it gives you a nice, good, clean energy, not that crazy, like, energy drink energy. We'll not go there.
I don't know how anybody drinks those. They're so disgusting. But anyway.
Anyways, green tea is amazing, but there's all kinds of teas out there. I actually was reading an article the other day, and one of the newest fads, one of the new health trends, and it's actually been proven that it is really good for you, is hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea is actually amazing for you. It's really good for your brain, your skin. And it's a good anti-inflammatory. So there's all these amazing teas out there. Nettle tea is fantastic. All the mushroom teas are great. You can go find a tea for helping you sleep, for your digestive system. Ginger tea is great for your stomach. I mean, lavender, chamomile, like I could go on, and you could literally drink tea for everything.
Yeah, I've been doing lemon balm.
Lemon balm's an excellent one also. Okay, this is what's interesting is I usually put more than one tea bag in my tea. I do like a combination. Like this morning's tea has green tea and it has the brain boosting tea. So I've got 2 different tea bags in there. And a lot of times I'll do
2 bags in one.
2 bags in one. And a lot of times I'll do like a nettle and a lemon balm with a green tea. I love peppermint, so I'll do peppermint a lot of the time. But yeah, tea is a great replacement for coffee. And what I like about tea is a lot of times I find many people, when they drink coffee, they add in all those creamers, which is a lot of sugars and processed. Right, exactly. And many times when people drink tea, unless you're from the UK, most people in America that drink tea do not add creamers or stuff like that to it. They may add sweetener, but please, if you're going to add sweetener to your tea, just use like raw honey. Don't put all that other awful stuff that's so bad for you in it. So that's my PSA today. Drink tea out of our mugs.
All right, you've motivated me. I go through phases. Tea is the hot diggity.
Yes, exactly. It's great remedies. Absolutely, Marlu. That's the thing people don't realize. And it's been around for thousands and thousands of years. I mean, drink your tea.
I go through phases where I crave tea and I want tea and I drink tea. And then it's then I need a break for a while. But I've got my little pantry here in my office. I have my lemon balm, my nettle, my dandelion. Mm-hmm. So on the next show, because I'll be done with my coffee by that time, I'll drink tea in my next show.
Yeah, and I'll show you my brain boosting tea. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think I definitely need that.
Yeah, it's very helpful. All right, we need to bring our guest on. Are you ready?
We do need to bring on our guest.
Okay. Hello, Aislin. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for inviting me.
It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. And can you please take a few minutes and introduce yourself to our audience? Let them know who you are and what you do.
Of course. So my name is Aislin Wolf, and I am a trauma therapist and a spiritual life coach. And I'm also the lead priestess in the Red Tent Goddess Academy. We have a beautiful program called the Goddess Academy, where we do a 1-year priestess program and a 1-year enchantress program. And it's a really beautiful program for women that want to be spiritual leaders and want to step up and learn all that there is about the goddesses and how to empower yourself with the Enchantress program. And so I'm very proud to be, a co-facilitator in the Enchantress program, and then the teacher at the Priestess program. So, and I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. You're muted, Allyson.
I was saving you all from the puppy noises. Sorry. Aislin, how long have you been doing what you do at the Goddess Academy?
So we started a year ago. It was a 1-year program. We just finished the Priestess program on Saturday, and then the Enchantress program will be finished in May. And we're hoping to get it started again. We have a wait list, and we're really excited to relaunch it. And I've been part of the Red Tent Goddess Sisterhood for about a year and a half. I want to say almost 2 years. Started like in the pandemic, like 2020. It must have been around maybe July or June, I think, that I actually became a member. And then I quickly stepped up and joined in all of their activities and got an opportunity to really help. And here I am, and I'm very happy. I also became a spiritual life coach during this process. I was already a trauma therapist and soon to hopefully be an author. So a lot of exciting things are happening. And I'm just very excited. Very, very excited.
That's awesome. Really cool.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it's time for us to jump into our questions. And our first question, Aislin, is what is one book that you wish every goddess would read?
You know, it's funny. I was thinking last night, I have so many books that I could possibly recommend that I was like, okay, how do I narrow it down? So the book that got me started on a spiritual journey, believe it or not, was Brian Weiss, Many Lives, Many Masters. And that's kind of the book that started me on my journey. Like that's the book that it was like my aha moment. Like, wow, there was such a thing as reincarnation. Wow, spirituality. This is fascinating. Like that's really what kickstarted it for me. But if I'm gonna pick a book as far as an introduction to the goddess and for women to really like feel that empowerment, would be Tanishka's book on the goddess. That is an amazing book. Anything by Tanishka is just awesome. Her books are incredible. And she had a book that is an introduction to the goddess. And that book was really like, that's what opened my eyes that there is a goddess. So that started me on the actual path of getting to know the goddess. So those are the two most influential books, I want to say, among the many. And then, of course, I'm a follower of Bridget. Bridget is my main goddess. So any book by Bridget to me was like, and there's so many that I can mention, but Luna Weatherstone, I hope I'm saying her name right. Tending Bridget's Flame is another beautiful book that also really, really got me on a spiritual path and a connection to the goddess in general. So those would be my two books.
Yeah, for so many of our guests, it's hard to pick one book because most of us are, I'll say, addicted to reading.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know our Allyson over there, she typically has 4 books going at a time.
Me too. Me too.
But
Me too.
I try and stick with 1 or 2. But maybe if I start drinking the brain boost tea, then I will then I'll be able to read 4 at a time like you, Alice.
So I just read Allie's comment, and that's exactly the book I'm talking about. Thank you, Allie. I was trying to remember the exact title, but yes, that's it. Goddess Wisdom Made Easy by Tanishka. That's the book. Yep. It changed my life too. It really did. Definitely. Definitely.
Nice. All right. Our second question, because just as important as reading is in all of our lives, we find that too many women have not done enough self-care. And so we're really trying to get all the women out there to start taking care of themselves. And so to support them, we're trying to give them all kinds of good ideas. So what is your favorite self-care practice and how does it support you?
You won't believe this, but my favorite self-care practice, to be honest, is to have a quiet night with a book and just be able to drink tea, as Allyson is doing, and be able to sit back, relax, have not a care in the world, and be able to just drink my tea and read my favorite book. That is my favorite self care practice. And I say that because I'm usually so busy that it's difficult to be able to carve that time. But that is definitely one of my favorite self care practices. And I love to go out in nature sometimes when the weather permits and do any kind of grounding practices. And I literally just discovered the frame drum. And I don't know if you've ever tried drumming, but oh my God, that is such a grounding experience. So these are like little things that I love to do that feel very grounding and very, I feel so connected. I also do a lot of meditation and chanting, and anything spiritual for me is a self care. Absolutely. And then when I need a little social time, then I call up my best friend and we try to plan something together because that's important. Also, like we do, like in the red tent, we have the full moon and the new moon gatherings. And that for me is a massive, massive self care, like where you get to talk to other women and connect. And so those would definitely be my self care. I think every woman should join some kind of group, be around other women, and just you know enjoy life and talk and bond. That's really important for self-care. It's my personal opinion.
Absolutely. I've talked about this a lot, but it's time for women to really connect to that sacred feminine energy. And we need that so much now in the world to help heal what's going on out there. And we've been stuck in patriarchal society for forever now. And, we see what's going on out there in the world. And so by women finally coming together and supporting each other and lifting each other up, big changes will be able to be made and people will heal. So I love that idea.
Mm-hmm. All right. Are we ready for our next question?
Yes.
So as you said, we are all about like supporting one another. And I find it so interesting because this is one of those things that we as women tend to not talk about. But when you are having one of those days when it's just really difficult to show up, what tool do you pull out of your back pocket, or what do you do to be able to show up even when you're not feeling like it, right? Because we all have those days.
Those are the moments that, at least for me, I dig into my spirituality. I dig into my toolbox. I do breath work. I do some meditation. I do a little chanting, and I connect as much as I can. And reading is also very helpful. I will pull out my favorite book. I have some books that I use, like for example, the Four Agreements. Where I'll pull that book out, I'll look at it, and I'll be like, okay, it's not about me. I need to take a deep breath and realize that it's not about me. And those are those little things really help, and it helps ground me. And I keep mentioning grounding because to me grounding is so important, because when we're upset and when our emotions are frazzled and we're out there, to have an opportunity to regroup and ground and realize, okay, it's not about me. And it really helps. It helps balance my day and it helps balance my emotions. Mm-hmm. So I really feel that a spiritual practice is important. And once you have a spiritual practice in place, you can come back to that. So even as a therapist, because I also am a trauma therapist, and I always tell clients breath work is important and grounding is important and mindfulness, because it helps center you and it helps get you ready for whatever's coming. So those are the tools that I grab onto when I'm in situations like that.
I love that. And I love, like you said, the breath work, even for people maybe that aren't, super, there's a lot of people that don't do any of that stuff. So if you're like, breath work, I don't even know, like, what do I do? Just take 5 deep breaths, like just take a moment, right? Get outside, put your feet in the grass. Like
Absolutely.
Getting up and away from whatever's happening at the moment that's causing you to feel out of sorts, or like it's just one of those days. Get out of that atmosphere, that environment, even just for a minute or two, makes such a difference. I love how you shared that. That's so important that people, it doesn't have to be anything huge and major to change your perspective. And I love that you brought up 4 Agreements, because that's one of our favorite books. We talk about it a lot. And it's so, like, it's one of those books like, dang, I wish I would have read that when I was like, 20. And I, because it's such a, it's so eye-opening. Like you said, it's not about me. And it's, everyone's just worried about themselves, right? They don't.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Awesome. It's true. And it's important to take a lesson in things that happen, where even the most negative moments in your life, if you look back, there's a lesson to learn from it. I believe. And so I try to look at that, when I'm upset or when things don't flow, say, what can I learn from this situation? What is the lesson I can take away? And what can I do different? And kind of ground myself and know, like, okay, it's not about me, but I can learn something from this, possibly. So what can I learn? Right. Those are the things that I try to do in order to not only have a better day, but a better existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right. So our next question is kind of leads, what you were just saying leads right into it, is what is a life experience, could be good, could be bad, that really has formed who you are today and made you the amazing woman that you are today?
I want to say a life experience that really changed me was, so many years ago, I had a gastric bypass surgery. And it really changed my perspective, because I learned a lot of valuable lessons from this surgery. I learned that it's not, because I was very hung up on like what I look like and wanting to lose weight. And I had like all this going through my head. And then I realized that it wasn't about what I look like. It was all about my health. And I had this perception of how people would view me, and I thought, oh, once I have this gastric bypass and I lose all this weight and my life is going to change drastically and people are going to see me a certain way. And then I realized that it wasn't about that. It's about what's inside. And I, it did change my life, because it changed my perspective, and it helped me become even more spiritual, because I started to see that it's all about your soul, your mind, your heart, what's inside. And the people that are going to be your friends are going to be your friends. And the people that are not are not. And so it was an eye-opening experience for me. It changed my whole perspective. And it helped me see that I needed to, at that time I was finishing up, becoming a therapist. And I said, you know what, I truly want to help people. And once I get this master's degree, I want to help women, and I want to help people in general, but especially women that have that look in the mirror and they hate themselves, or they don't like what they look like. And I want them to see who they really are, if that makes sense. And for them to see the beauty that's inside, and how you can be beautiful regardless of size and regardless of what you look like. It's not about just the physical. And those are the little lessons that I learned as I went through that really difficult journey, and now through this whole pandemic, I've gained weight, and I'm not like I was when I first did my gastric bypass, but it's okay. I will lose it this time, but it'll be because of health. It won't be because of what society thinks or what I should look like, but it's because I want to do what's healthy for me, And that's a message that I want to put out there, that, If you do something, do it for yourself, do it because it makes you feel good, do it because you want to, but not because you have to, because you're worried about what people will think, because you're beautiful regardless. We all have the goddess inside. So we're beautiful regardless of the outside. It's what's inside that really counts. So
Cool.
that
And
was
I love that you say that so I have a 22-year-old daughter who, these young adults and teenagers, social media inundates them with how you look and what you have and all of that stuff. And I would say she's pretty good about that kind of stuff, but it's almost like you can't even fault them. It's so hard to stay out of that mindset because that's what they're just getting shown day in, day out, day in and day out. But I love, love, love the fact that you made a comment about it being important about your health, because that's one thing. I've been on the end of too thin and I've been on the end of overweight. And the bottom line is neither one of those I wasn't in a place of good health in either one of those scenarios. Right. So I love that you bring that up, because I think it really is, the older I've gotten and the less I'm worried about what other people think, the more I'm worried about my own health and taking care of myself, and really about, do I feel good? Am I taking care of me? And am I giving my body the best that I can so that I can be support to all these other women and all these other people and do my job, right? Because if we don't have our health, and I've been there, I was sick 12 years ago, I was deathly ill. And I know if you don't have your health, it's impossible to do anything. So I absolutely love that you brought that up. I think that's awesome. Julietta, did you want to say something? I feel like you did.
Well, the only thing I was going to add was, after talking to so many women, it's just painful to me to realize, like, all of us, no matter what we look like, even the most gorgeous women, are walking around thinking that they're not good enough because of something about how they look. It can be the most gorgeous supermodel, and we think that she's okay with herself. And if you get down and talk to her, she's picking herself apart as well. And, it's every day in my practice here, I work on self-love with my clients, and, I have this thing, like, I look in the mirror and every day I'm like, oh, that's what I look like. Because I'm so disconnected from this physical body. And even seeing people will be like, oh, can you tell I lost 5 pounds? And I'm like, no, because that's not how I see you. I see your spirit. I see the true you. I don't see this physical 3D human you. And so I always say I'm the worst friend to have if you're like wanting compliments on your weight loss or whatever you're doing to improve your physical image. Just because that's not, I see your heart, I see your soul, and everybody's beautiful. So that's a big wish for me, that, and not to say don't struggle with it myself. I've had to go through a big healing journey, getting comfortable with my body. And yeah, it's important for everybody to know that your soul is beautiful, and this physical carcass that we carry around is not who you are. And it's just the vessel that we use to interact in the 3D world.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's very
I love
true.
how you put that.
It's very true.
All right, so to wrap things up, what is one thing that you would want our audience to take away from our time together today?
Have a spiritual practice. Know that it's not about you. Learn the lessons in everything that happens in your day, in your life. There's always a lesson, in the positive and in the negative. What is the lesson? What is the takeaway? What can you learn from the experience? And know that it's not about you. And be impeccable with your word. That's important. Very important. Be impeccable with your word. Have a spiritual practice that grounds you, that helps you cope, and that helps you see that you are a goddess deep down inside. And remember that. That's important.
I love
that.
I love that you said the impeccable word, because ever since I read the 4 agreements and we went through that, I stopped myself a lot before I just used to like, just my, words would just come flying out of my mouth. Now I really stop and I think about what I'm saying and really try to make sure that I'm explaining myself the best that I can. I'm not perfect at it yet, but that is one of those things that I am working on for sure. Absolutely. So yes.
We all get to be perfectly imperfect and not
That's right.
judge yourself for not being perfect.
Right.
It's
Go
true.
read the 4 agreements. Just go read the 4 agreements.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. It is an amazing book.
Yeah. All right,
All right.
Julietta.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Aislin. This has been wonderful. And you attracted quite a live audience here. So congratulations on that. And
Thank you.
super huge thank you to our sponsor, Alicia, for these amazing, gorgeous mugs. Whoop, whoop. Definitely coffee, tea, and whatever you're drinking tastes better in these mugs. And thank you also to our audience. We could not be doing this without you. And if you've liked what you've heard today, please share Voices of Goddesses with other goddesses that you know that could benefit from listening here. Ooh, Allie, how can you get one? So we will have them available for purchase in the not too distant future, but we will also join our Circle of Goddesses group on Facebook, and we're going to be having a challenge coming up real soon where you have an opportunity to win a mug.
And they will be on our website, our Voices of the Goddess website.
Yeah, when they're available.
When they're available. Yeah,
yeah, they're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So, yes. So please subscribe, follow, like, share, and also if you'd like to be a guest on our show, if you go to our website, votgpodcast.com. There's a form you can fill out there to request to be a guest on our show. We would love to have you because Allyson and I truly believe that every woman out there has a message to share that someone needs to hear. So come join us. We would love to have you. And did I miss anything?
I think I covered it all.
I think I covered it all. And so with that, I just want to wish everybody a magical day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.